pour a cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Winter is just around the corner as you get a look at Highmark Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York. Today we've got an AFC East matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here we go! Here we
go! They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. And the Bills had 5-8, 3 games under 500. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, the flip side of that can be true as well, because this is a club in desperate need of a spark out of somewhere. A big play on offense, turnover, takeaway on defense, something to get a point in the right direction. They need it quickly.
Giving it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now a first down throw. Fields. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now, these two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Bills winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here in Buffalo. On second down, it's Walker. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3rd and 2, Fields finds the open target, Arnold. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and the Bills' opening drive yields 3. Well, given where they started that opening drive, CD, I think to get 3 out of it, probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that because they just shook off the effects of the kickoff in field position and took the ball, moved it downfield. Didn't pay off with a touchdown, but that drive, that was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now Hall to start the drive.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, and he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Ball again on second down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Murray now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
They called out a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australian native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is brought in at the 21. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Bills are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with it and try and get him settled.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Not sure exactly what he saw that made him decide to hand it off, but a great decision and a fantastic run.
From our vantage point, what he saw was a defense that got out of its lanes, got out of its gaps, and they were pretty much running to the quarterback, viewing him as a bigger threat. And look at that wide open space, and he rumbled for big-time yardage.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Walker with another carry. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
Well, this run defense gets an F so far. They're letting this guy carve them to shreds in the first quarter of play. He's already hit the 100-yard mark.
Here's Fields on the sneak.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Walker is in. Touchdown, Bills. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 9, Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5 now. Murray over the middle. He finds Higgins. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray, he's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 47-yard line.
Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Here's Fields.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And out across midfield down to the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Derailing that play from the start was Christian Harris. He got back there and stuck him for a loss behind the line of scrimmage.
We remind you coming up at halftime. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I do.
I know you do. I've got the thing just for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Christian Harris there finding his way home to record the sack. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Eluding the pressure right.
Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Taken down at the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Murray. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. He'll get this one to Patrick. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9.
Here's Murray.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. Only a yard there, sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Fields it right around the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Hall again.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
They'll run with Hall. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 54 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
At the 44-yard line.
Murray now to throw.
Flush to his right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
DJ Ronham got off his spot quickly and got to the quarterback.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
An attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Hardy set to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Fields on first down. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Fields. That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
He completes this to Walker.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
To the air again, Fields.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown.
Justin Jefferson
hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Shotgun now for Murray. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Nasir Adderley that time making the tackle.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Murray. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And we're into the 2nd half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple, because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Trayvon Walker able to record his 5th sack of the season. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Off play action, Fields. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man, complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Kadarius Toney, 69 yards. And the Bills look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Zerline good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On the draw, it's Hall. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Murray now. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Play fake. Murray. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Throwing now is Murray. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half.
No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A quick throw into the hands of Hardy. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Well, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Ball again on 2nd down.
And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line.
74 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Hall.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. .39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And going right back to Walker.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And we talked so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if